Excuse me. What's going on, everybody? Got another, hopefully quick one. This nice afternoon, 4th of July afternoon. This was pretty self-explanatory. Just, I might have made something similar to this, a while ago, maybe a year ago. But pretty much, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. That mindset and that way of living has kind of brought me to this point. Gave me a lot of clarity, gave me a lot of understanding of how the world truly works, you know what I'm saying? Because I observed my parents doing that, especially my mom. She always had her ops very, very close, but her also being pretty naive about how the world really works, it led to, a lot of suffering, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of heartache for her, but she did it for a reason, she needed to do those things. She still does it to this day, she's on the east side all the way in the part of the east side where there's not a whole lot of black people. That's just kind of how she is. She's always kind of, like I said, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. And that's kind of what I've been doing for a very, very long time. Because once you kind of adapt that mantra, that's the only way to keep your friends actually safe, truly, you know what I'm saying? Is to truly have your enemies as close as possible. Keep an eye on them. And make sure that they are continuing down the path that you know that they need to be, to keep everyone safe and keep everything, kosher and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what, at least how I interpret that saying, because so many people, they put on the front, kind of pretty two-faced. They're not very genuine, and they want to make you feel like they're your friends. They want to make you feel like they're on your side. And the best way to do that is with your actions. Like saying so's. Actions speak louder than words. And so many people's actions will show you how they feel about you. As soon as you meet them, honestly, they will show you. There's no reason to tell someone that you're your friend and that you care about them. Your actions would have made that statement redundant. So when I do see people saying that they're on my side and they're here to help or whatever, a lot of times when their actions don't fully reflect that, it's a clear sign that they're not on my side. And they never were on my side. It was always, if they were, it was always like ulterior motive. You know what I'm saying? They always had some different motive behind it. And if they got what they wanted, then they continue being cool with you. They didn't get what they wanted, and all of a sudden, then they show their other side of themselves, which I appreciate. You know what I'm saying? I love seeing that, because like it vindicates, the way that I see the world and the things that I do. I always kind of, when I do the things that I do and go about the world the way that I have, I kind of look for signs to lead to kind of give me validation or vindication, I guess, of what I'm doing and how I'm carrying myself. And when I see someone doing that, when I see someone, who all these words of affirmation and clarity and just being very helpful, and when they don't get what they want, the different motive, they switch up. It's like, yeah, that's why me and you are so close, because you were never truly my friend. You're not a bad person. Like I keep saying, I don't believe in good or evil or right or wrong or whatever. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, that's the reason why we're not cool. You know what I'm saying? Because if we were cool, you would never switch up on me. You accepted me for who I was the moment you met me. You know what I'm saying? There is no arteria of anything. You know what I'm saying? Everything's good. Everything's kosher. You know what I'm saying? It's everything's going to be good. So it's like no action, nothing I can do, say, believe, or anything like that would change how you should feel about me. You know what I'm saying? I'm the same exact person that you saw. You know who someone is as soon as you meet them. You get all the information you need from somebody by looking at their face. You know what I'm saying? And kind of going deep inside of who you are and how you feel about yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's no one thing that someone can do that makes someone switch up. It's the mask finally slips and they finally show who they truly are. And that's why I appreciate the people who are on my side, who are doing kind things for me and to me, because that's kind of who they are. You know what I'm saying? There's no they don't need to come up to me and tell me anything. They don't need to articulate why they feel the way that they feel about me. They just do it. You know what I'm saying? Good, kind people just do good, kind things, and they don't expect anything in return because they know that's going to come back to them. You know what I'm saying? That's just kind of how people are innately. So when you see someone kind of like switch up on you, or all of a sudden they're acting different, that's who they're showing themselves now is kind of who they always were, truly, and that's the reason why they're in the situation that they're in. The consistency is key. You know what I'm saying? If you're a consistent person, you always show up for yourself and others. Everyone who's going to be for you is always going to be for you. They're never going to switch up. There's no point. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we're all the same. We don't change. But it all depends on who you ask, I guess. All that stuff goes. But for me, I'm just kind of taking all this in stride, trying to, take in all this free XP that's out here, because this is all just a learning experience at this point, because what's going on between me and the people that I'm dealing with has been over technically for years. You know what I'm saying? They're just doing a temper tantrum, and that's why I'm still in these areas, and I'm still going after them, and still kind of playing this game with them, because it's like there's still so much to learn. There's still so many people who were doing things behind the scenes that I never knew about them. I never really had any at least conscious thought of them. And now they're showing their face, and now it's like, okay, now we get it's a new chapter, an extra chapter, a new side mission to take on. So it's just I'm loving every minute of this. People are just kind of just constantly just doing theater every single day. I do not, from a conscious perspective, I do not understand why people keep threatening my life. Because it doesn't make any sense, from a conscious, from an ego standpoint. When you zoom out, and then when you kind of, when I take myself out of it, it's just nothing but projection, and that's them. You know what I'm saying? Like the people across from where I'm at, I think it's like a detail shop or whatever. They keep having these hearses. I think that's what they're called, hearses. The cars that take the caskets to the funeral. Or the burial site. They keep showing me them. It's like, why are you doing this? This is for you. You know what I'm saying? This is for all of y'all. I'm not. This isn't for me. If it was, you wouldn't be showing it to me. You would put me in one already. It's comical. It's theater. It's like, why are you doing this? You know what I'm saying? Why are you making this worse for yourself? Everyone sees what you're doing. It's just like when you're dealing with extremely egotistical people, this is kind of how they carry themselves. You know what I'm saying? They're constantly projecting. Like we all project. I do it, you do it, we all do it. But to this degree, is like, this is nothing but ego. You know what I'm saying? You're not even trying to clarify things. You're not even trying to get any. This is only self-serving. At the end of the day, there's no point in you trying to make a metaphor. Like this is self-serving. You just care about yourself. You're mad that what you got going on is coming to an end, and you're just doing a temper tantrum. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to eat your vegetables. You don't want to go to your room. You don't want to go to bed. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But so many people are stuck in their adolescence. You know what I'm saying? They don't like it when dad tells them what to do. It's like, I'm not doing this because I'm an asshole. I mean, I'm already an asshole. I'm doing this because it needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? Trust me, I have other things I would like to do, other things that I need to do. But I had to do this first, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm not even sure why these people are even joining in from an egotistical standpoint for myself. But You know, everything happens for a reason. There's no point for me to try to process this now. I get so much information thrown at me on a daily basis that it's hard for me to process it all at the same time. So I don't even try. To get one day at a time, process all the things process everything once at a time. I do things a little too fast. I need to slow down. It's my main thing is to slow down a little bit. Not be so stuck on the fight or flight. My PTSD is what it is, but just take it slow and understand that everything has a process. You know what I'm saying? So just kind of let the process play itself out and go from there. But just kind of take an inventory of like who the people are. There's so many people every single day at the process, and they're all doing something. You know what I'm saying? They're all doing something. I walk past people when they're crossing the street. They're scratching. They're not looking at me. Like they know who I am. The whole damn city knows who I am. I mean, literally everyone. I'm pretty sure most of the politicians know who I am. Most of the people in the entertainment industries know who I am. Like everyone knows at least something about me. You know what I'm saying? I made sure of that too. I'm not like I'm a victim in that. I made sure that people know who I am. People saw my face. And that's why I'm doing this as well, so I can kind of get my side of the story, my voice out there, instead of them, constantly, trying to pay me out to whatever they want to pay me out as. I can definitely kind of do that myself. You know what I'm saying? Kind of get people that clarity, that information, if they truly want it. That's why I know eventually these videos are going to get out and people are going to see them. Even though people are seeing them now, I know people are watching them in one way, shape, or form. But and I appreciate y'all. If you hate watching or whatever, I still appreciate you. But this is kind of why I do this, to get my voice out there, so letting people kind of tell me who I am. I'll tell you. You can kind of make your own decision about who I am, or at least get a clearer picture by watching these. But just taking it day by day. This going over the last few weeks, few months. Who are the people that I'm being around? Why am I around these people? Why do I need to be around these people? Because if I didn't need to be around these people, I would be pushed away. You know what I'm saying? Something from nature would tell me go over there, go over there, go over there. No, I keep going back to these same places, and I keep receiving my blessings. So clearly, my enemies are there. To a extent, I don't have enemies. I don't take this shit personal. But the people who are going to hurt the people who I care about are there. Essentially, those are my enemies. So I have to, go over there and do what I do best. So that's the reason why I do it. But try to figure out who is who. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people playing games and putting on performances, and I feel like the people who are for me are pretending to be against me, and the people who are pretending to be against me are actually for me. Sorry, the people who are pretending to be for me are actually against me. You know what I'm saying? I just have to read through I have to watch their actions. You know what I'm saying? Watch what they do and not pay too much attention to what they say. You know what I'm saying? Watch who they talk to. Watch who they communicate with. Watch. Just watch, essentially. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what I have to do to kind of see through the smoke screen, see through the psyops and the misdirection. And it's been working my whole entire life. You know what I'm saying? I'm a pretty good judge of character when it comes to these type of things. So I know subconsciously, I know who is who. I'm just trying to get better at this consciously, so I can make this process a lot easier for myself, so I can move on a bit bigger and better things. So that's basically my whole. Sorry that someone is pulled up. That's basically my whole kind of thing, is just constantly going over and keeping the people who I truly want to keep safe close, but keep the people who I don't want to see hurting the people that I want closer. You know what I'm saying? That's basically it, because I know that that's going to lead to a better place. That's going to lead to a better time for everybody. And at the end of the day, this is all like I said, this is all pretty much over with. They're just people that's kind of just not knowing what to do, not knowing how to carry themselves, and just kind of just like I said, throwing a temper tantrum, like this doing in front of me. It's kind of what they're doing, and I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? This is nothing but signs of a dying empire. You know what I'm saying? They're losing their power that they never really had truly, and they're definitely going through it worse than any of us, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a saying, you know, hate never comes from above. You know, people who are doing better than you don't have any time to send any negativity your way. You know what I'm saying? That's not how they got to that point. That's not how they got to that position. So it's like whenever you see people, you know, who from the outside looking in doing better than you, or all of a sudden taking time out of their day to send shade your way, or clearly you're actually not. Clearly you're just putting on performance, and you're actually not actually doing anything productive at all. Like this dude just came up here on a motorcycle and just took a piss, like in the bushes over there. Like why? I don't like why. Like why do that? Doesn't make any sense. From like a personal egotistical side, but like I said, you just zoom out over this, man. They're upset that what they got going on is coming to an end, and this them, you know, it's kind of just throwing a temper tantrum and just kind of just doing what they do, and I appreciate it truly. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing this for a while. I'll kind of make a video maybe sometime next week about all the things that they've done that I've been able to process. You know, obviously I can't get to everything, but you know, this is kind of why, like I said, I do what I do, and I go where I go. I know I can go someplace where I can be surrounded by loved ones, and have a little bit more less chaos and more structure. But that's not needed right now. What's needed is them continuing doing what they're doing, so I can do what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? They're kind of the obstacles in my way. You know, they don't really see that, but like I can't do what I do until y'all stop what you're doing, essentially. So that's kind of why I do what I do, and put myself in these positions. You know, I don't have to be here. Truly, I don't have to. I can kind of duck this and kind of run from it and go someplace else. But it's like that won't bring me my blessings. That won't actually turn me into the person that I know that I am going to become. So I have to stay here and sorry, someone's on my foot. Stay here and do what I got to do, because that's kind of what's called of me, you know, by everything around me, by the laws of nature. So that's why I do what I do, and I appreciate like the theater that happens every single day. And why they're so mad. Like I would never say never, but I can't see myself doing something like that. I can't see myself doing what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? I literally have better things to do, and they don't. And that's kind of the point. Why you want to keep your enemies closer, so you can see what not to do, you see how not to carry yourself, and to see, and honestly, to enjoy the fruits of your labor. You know what I'm saying? You must have been doing a pretty good job. You have so many people that you never even met just throwing a temper tantrum. You know what I'm saying? Like that's some pretty legendary shit. So I am definitely appreciative of that, and I want more and more every single day. That's why I do what I do. That's where I go when I go. That's why I say what I say, because I love this shit. At the end of the day, it's going to help my loved ones. It's going to help the future. It's going to help the city, and we're all going to be just doing much better after this. We're already doing better now, but this is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I'm glad to see it. I'm glad people do what they do, and why they. And I don't know why. Like I said, consciously, I don't know why, but I don't need to. Truthfully, I can just kind of stay the course, do what I gotta do. Know I got a lot of people who support me, a lot of people who are very, very appreciative of what I'm doing, and they show me that in their different ways. And I love y'all. And yeah, this is nothing but love at the end of the day. And I know these people are literally in love with me. They can't stop thinking about me. They think about me all day, probably every day, all day. And I see why now. I'm starting to really take inventory of what I've done and the impact that I've made, and yeah, I can see why they are so obsessed. So I appreciate y'all, and yeah, we'll get through this. But yeah, long story short, title of the video: keep your friends close, enemies closer. That's how you protect your friends from your enemies, essentially.